made some changes based on my recommendations, and here he is.
Yeah. Just can't let this guy have his day in the sun. He's got to take.
He's doing well.
No, I understand that, but focus on the dude and not the awesome advice you gave. You know what I mean? All right, turn 1 Delver from.
And turn 1 Thought Scour.
And a mental misstep.
All right. Misstep is a very powerful card that Delver Mirror. It deals with both Delver and. Was that a misstep on both sides? You see?
No, it's a Thought
Scour. Okay.
Pretty juicy graveyard already for Paige.
Yeah, he's got a bit of action.
Oh, Snapcaster for mental misstep on the Ponder.
And Brian Page shutting him down. This is game 3. The players are tied at 1-1, obviously, because it's game 3.
I don't love it as a game designer, but as a Magic player, competitive Magic player. Snapcaster for 0 mana Phyrexia mana spell is that's about my language. That feels like the most busted thing you can do.
And Snapcaster coming in. Ooh, a pair of Moreland Haunts. Brian Page struggling a bit for colored mana.
Yeah.
And Delver is a deck that's actually pretty hungry for colored mana, thanks to things like Snapcaster Mage, Dungeon Geist. Moreland Heart itself actually, taking a bit of mana to activate. Doesn't have that much use for excess colorless mana other than equipment.
And there's a Pike, and his graveyard's already pretty stacked, so. I assume he's just gonna pass here and use his Moreland Haunt. Oh no, he actually can't. I'm sorry. He does not have sufficient colored mana. But he still is going to pass.
So
Delver's still not flipped.
But no yard for Alex for that Moreland Haunt.
Page Japanese slow rolling himself there. Into a Ponder, so just a re-slow roll. Oh, sorry. We had the name switched there. Etzel, sorry.
So everything we said about each player
was a fabrication.
We made it up.
Literally nothing was true.
Literally untrue. So Alex Etzel now on the left of your screen, Brian Page on the right of your screen. Musical chairs. Oh, he does have a graveyard.
Yeah, off camera.
Off camera.
So you're going to snag.
Hopefully we can get that graveyard moved onto camera so we can see what's going on.
It's a very aggressive use of Vapor Snag right there. But I guess his color mana is so jammed up that he's just got to...
Yeah,
not a bad spot.
There's a Pike. So he wants to keep that creature in play. He doesn't want to have his Snapcaster die when his game here is Pike.
And Vapor Snag being revealed to the insect, which definitely makes the Pike a trickier proposition.
Much less exciting. Though getting your Snapcaster Vapor Snagged is not as bad as some other options.
I believe that does Etzel have a Dissipate in his hand?
It looks like a Dissipate.
That's a card I know is not highly regarded by a lot of players, and the permission in general just not very highly regarded in Delver Mirrors.
There's a Timely Reinforcements in Brian Page's hand.
You can see sort of the efficiency of Etzel's deck. He was able to get a ton of cards in his graveyard very fast.
Oh, the power of Thought Scour. We've talked about the the Thought Scour camp and the Gitaxian Probe camp, and in a world where Pike is a major player, the power of Thought Scour is definitely a big deal.
Yeah.
Here also the Moreland Haunts. His Moreland Haunts are online, whereas opponents are just sort of sitting there, not really doing much of anything. And Snag puts that Delver back. Snag's actually a card that a lot of players have had various changes in opinion on its power in the mirror match. I know there was a period where people just wanted no Snags in the mirror. Oh, and Timely. That Snag potentially causing a problem, but
it's going to get
dissipated.
Which needs to get are all those cards removed?
I don't think so. Yeah, that's got to get out of the game because it can't be Snapcastered back.
Well, the Ponder is still in the graveyard, I believe.
Yeah.
And
I think those may all be removed.
There's a Moreland Haunt use on the creature and then a Dissipate on the... So I'm not sure if the Ponder is actually supposed to be in there.
And is those all removed?
What happened with the ponder?
I don't know. The ponder, I think, should be in the yard. I don't know. Okay. Maybe it's gone. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing in the mirror match is Stalker plus equipment or Geist plus equipment, then your snag is quite bad.
Well, it's also just in terms of how much the mirror comes down to attrition. When snag.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, okay. Ponder is in the yard. Got it fixed. All right. So yeah, when snag is removing a creature and letting you do a bunch of damage, it's great. But when you're fighting against whether it's gut shots or timely reinforcements or whatever, when you're snagging stuff, you're not really being nearly as productive. Yeah. So the games end up dragging on longer, and card economy matters a lot more, which can make snag be just that much worse.
Yeah. So
all right. Well,
the option between ponder and snag, and he's going to snag again. So he's just really trying his hardest to get to a position where he can get pike on a guy.
Yeah. I don't know that I would snag there.
Well, Etzel's not necessarily in the clear, right? Like he's fairly low from all the Phyrexian mana.
No, I can see that.
It would be nice to ponder, but I suppose there are other priorities.
Sometimes I just don't want to die.
Yeah.
I don't really want to die. I don't really ever want to die.
All right, so he's going to ponder into Delver, land.
That
so I
one's
assume
gonna
that's a shuffle.
Yeah.
So yeah, what would you have snagged or pondered there?
My inclination is to ponder. I don't know. I don't really know the Delver mirror that well, but I like we were just saying, I feel like the card economy is pretty important. That these games do go pretty long, and just having both more raw cards and more card accessibility and be able to find the sort of cards that you need. I mean, like if he's able to ponder it into a gut shot there, it's way better than snagging, clearly.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
If he ponders into, I don't know, Dungeon Geist. Like, all these are pretty powerful effects that can give comparable effect to the snag. He's just putting the snag back in his hand, or at least are better than the snag. He's just putting that Delver back in his hand. It's not. I mean, yes, if he connects with that Snapcaster, it's going to be awesome. But he's still fighting against a deck that he also knows has Vapor Snag. So.
All right, so he's going to chump there.
I mean, and he's also fighting against a Moorland Haunt. You can only live so long trying to Vapor Snag every creature away when you're playing a Moorland Haunt.
Yeah,
and that one's not going to get snagged.
He has to produce a flyer here. I mean, he has Moorland Haunt, but the risk now is that he's going to be able to start just getting pike on a flyer, which Paige currently has no defense for.
Well, he
has his own haunt, but he has very few creatures to weather the storm with.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you could still spend your turn and then set that up rather than spending your turn and piking your Snapcaster, which gives him Moorland Haunt fuel. Like, I actually think it's possible that was actually just a mistake.
Where you just say go, make a dude, and turn.
Yeah, you may want to not attack into that Snapcaster with your own Snapcaster, and make yourself a Moorland Haunt token, and then just pike that up.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has any other use for his mana. The mana they ended up using equipping. You could even, I mean, you probably don't want to just make a Moorland Haunt token and equip it, but I mean that's also an option. Here, I mean, putting his pike on his Snapcaster, though, definitely makes him more resilient to an opposing Vapor Snag than having it on a token, because he at least gets value out of that Snapcaster mage if it gets bounced back to his hand.
He gets a Snapcaster or a Snag, which gives him a ton of insurance against Geist of St. Traft and just sort of the general utility.
Mm-hmm.
So, Etzel in the tank here. He's got a green-black sword, which is not.
Really?
Maybe I thought that's what it was. Maybe it's War and Peace. Neither.
I thought I saw red white sword.
Okay, so he can just go for it on his flyer here.
That seems suspect.
Because you're not really appreciably increasing your clock and you're exposing yourself to a ton of risk.
Yeah, you expose yourself seriously to Vapor Snag. right, he's just going to move that over and send. And Brian can just make a guy and block.
Yep.
I think is actually his safest play. No, he's snagging it. All right, that kills it. Puts Alex to 9. He's going to make a guy. Sure.
So, yeah, he's going to keep the Snapcaster back, not re-equip because it still trades off with Geist Sustain Trash, so it lets him Moreland Haunt for another flyer.
Right.
Theoretically can present lethal again.
Though he is facing down a flyer and a Moreland Haunt token. It looks like Brian Page is out of gas.
Yeah. Leaving back the Delver is suspicious, I think. He just has to block Geist here. And he's going to be able to, he's still able to block.
Well, does he? 1, 2, 3. If Alex just didn't block. You wanted the Snapcaster there? You definitely want to.
He's got to use Moreland Haunt, right?
Yeah, you want to make a flyer.
The inefficiency is too bad, I think, if you don't.
Right. Like, I think you make a flyer, equip it, and ship, and then you can Snapcaster Vapor Snag his token, and he's dead. I think. Is it 8 spells? Or will he have 8
I mean, I think
he's
just wondering if there's a safer way to do it because
sure,
that line exposes him.
Yeah, it leaves him dead to the. No, he's gonna cast the Snapcaster, and he's gonna snag that. Okay. I can buy that. Puts Brian to 8.
It is a safer play in case something disastrous happens.
That's totally reasonable. And this way he can hike up his Snapcaster. Is this lethal? I believe it's lethal.
Yeah, I think he's
1, 2, 3. No, I don't think it is.
He has a Tomb Scour in his hand, I think, still.
Tomb Scour. Tomb Scour's like.
So he attacks and just says go, and now he has his Moreland Haunt back to block. So I think Brian's just trying. Etzel's just trying to grind him down here, and like make him chump block while having Moreland Haunt as insurance against Brian cracking back.
Yep.
Here's the Delver replayed. Gonna resolve a Tomb Scour. Puts another instant and another creature in the graveyard.
Tomb Scour is the M11 milk card. This is
it's Thought Scour. My bad. Tomb Scour would also be sweet.
Yeah, it's 5 cards.
Yeah, it's more than 2.
Red White Sword. So this gives him 2 potentially, not necessarily lethal, but devastating attackers. Oh, he's just gonna go for it.
Yeah, he's just going for it.
This
again snag.
It's pretty high risk.
I think he's probably just doesn't believe that there's a snag there.
And there is.
Yes. So here we are.
I think this is. Is this just game? If Delver flips, it's game.
Even if it doesn't, right? Because he gets to make him Moreland Haunt.
Wow. That was not how I expected that to go.
So Brian Page pulls it out, 2 games to 1. There was sort of it felt like there was some disconnect